We're also going to need to put our heads together on the Thursday night clap, because we need to find a way that demonstrates, as a nation now, officially, we don't value people earning less than £25,600 a year, £25,600 a year. We don't value them. So when we clap on Thursday nights, we're only actually clapping for people who earn more than that. I don't know how we're going to do it. We're going to have to come up with some sort of Freemason-style clapping equivalent of a handshake, aren't we? Or possibly we all need to hit a really expensive pan. Would that do? We get a Le Creuset casserole dish? Oh no, foreign. Well, that's right. We need to put our heads together. How are we going to be able to clap on Thursday night while, I mean, for some people, attacking teachers, and also now supporting a government that has rendered anybody earning less than £25,600 a year somehow inferior to everybody else, less desirable, less valuable than everybody else? There's a little Voxpop, as they're called, a dispatch from Marianna, Florida, in the New York Times that has caused something of a brouhaha in America. Now, oddly, it won't shock anybody who's listened to this programme on a regular basis, because we worked this out some time ago in the context not just of Donald Trump, which is what this Voxpop is about, but also, of course, in the context of Brexit. What is it you get out of this? What is it you're celebrating? What is it you're most looking forward to? And some people finally started sort of telling the truth. You remember the caller last year. I know he's a liar, but I like him lying because it upsets people like you and Sadiq Khan so much. And you sort of sit there thinking, what's he talking about? This is the quote from a Trump voter who is currently suffering from the shutdown, and which cuts to the very heart of British and American politics over the last 4 or 5 years. She said, he's not hurting the people he needs to be. So, although she remains a supporter, she said, I voted for him and he's the one who's doing this, i.e. presiding over the lockdown. Something he could, of course, have portrayed to the American people as for their own good, but he's failed that so spectacularly, almost makes Boris Johnson look competent. I voted for him and he's the one who's doing this. I thought he was going to do good things. He's not hurting the people he needs to be hurting. So if you were under any illusions or doubts at all, Priti Patel's immigration bill is designed to persuade people in this country that she is indeed hurting the people that she needs to be hurting. It's a very cynical, very transparent attempt to tell people that, yeah, look, we're making life harder for those mythical foreigners that you hate so much, while telling the ones you actually live next door to and work with that you don't mean them. And the threshold she's chosen is an interesting one. It's £25,600, a figure that actually some starting salaries for teachers don't even reach. But it's this question of value that I'm most interested in today. There's two ways I'd like to approach this story. I don't want to talk about where you were born, because, as you know, I don't care. If you're a good person and you do good things, then I am proud to call you a friend, a neighbour, a compatriot. It really doesn't matter to me whether you were born on the other side of the world or the other side of Chiswick. The point is this: they have this enormous majority. They don't really have any proper policies in the context of how your life might improve, but they got Brexit over the line by promising to make life harder for foreign people. People stopped pretending almost immediately that they were looking forward to any improvements in their own lives. Do you remember the calls we took from people saying that they actually voted for their children to be unemployed? You must be loving the COVID-19 economic impact. And they voted to be poorer, and they knew that their life was worse. And then Rees-Mogg started talking about economic benefits taking 100 years to arrive. So that con was put in place almost before the ink was dry on the referendum result. But the notion of value is one that's very easy to miss. It's very easy to overlook. So who are the people you're hurting? Well, they are theoretical foreigners who might have moved here at some point in the future if we hadn't introduced this policy. So you're hurting them. Yeah. But of course you're also hurting anybody who's already here and now finds themselves part of a society in which they are officially less valuable than a colleague over the road who earns £10 a year more. Officially, measurably less valuable.